Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We are at Notre de Paris, and this is on a little island. I think it's called Isle de City, or the island of the city. And it's still in construction after that 1,000 years ago fire. But hey, that's what happens when you have socialists working at your monuments. So I am in Paris, obviously. I have a few pieces of news to discuss from Ukraine, Russia, all over the world. Missiles that the Russians will deploy, as the Americans promised to deploy in Germany. A new Cold War. We have the Prime Minister of Hungary, Mr. Viktor Orban, talking about the irresponsible West and how the Russians take advantage of this irresponsibility coming from the Western, let's put them, leaders. In this little video, I will go off, or I will cross a bridge from the island. I'm going to go to the mainland, and we're going to go to the Louvre. And then we're going to go to Champs-Élysées, and then we're going to go to Place de Concorde, but that's I don't think we're going to get to Place de Concorde, but that's the end of the Louvre museum. And then maybe we get to Arc de Triomphe, we'll see. So they built this little thing here, so people can stay up there and take pictures or whatever happens. And this is how the situation looks as of now. I visited this cathedral in 1994 when it was open. So the Seine, the river flows from that side, this side, that way. Over there on that side, that's all the center. Let's put it, the center. That's the Tour Eiffel, Eiffel Tower. There's the Arc de Triomphe, that's Champs-Élysées. There's, how do you call it, Louvre Museum. And Père Lachaise, where I've been yesterday on a rainy day, and the cemetery is over there. The Hotel des Invalides, where Napoleon Bonaparte, the emperor, is buried, is on that side. So everything goes on that side. Everything that I was interested in and most people are interested in. I have here my binoculars with me, obviously. And these guys I hope will not make the police stop me. Nothing so far, but it's full of the police here. But they're just, how do you call it? I don't think they have the, how do you call it, the attention, really. They're not paying too much attention to what's going around us, as far as I can tell. So now I'm crossing, I think I'm going to cross this bridge towards the Louvre. And on the other side of the river, there is a Eiffel Tower and Hotel des Invalides, and that's on the other side of this one. So we're going to cross this way. So let's talk about some little current events that I could pick for this video. Obviously I'm dressed with Paris and the Olympics. The first thing is I would mention, that's according to Ukrainska Pravda. It's an article I just read a minute ago. And they reported that the Russians conducted 145 strikes on Saturday on Ukrainian critical infrastructure. So 145 attacks, bombardments, strikes. It seems like the Russians are doing things methodically and they're not in a hurry. Nevertheless, that was my initial, well, not my initial assessment of this war was that the Russians, if the Russians or Russia would fight Ukraine one-on-one, that would be done in 2 weeks, the whole war. I thought that, and I still think that if these guys in the West did not plan to really go all the way, this would have ended in, let's say, 2 weeks. But that's what happens when you don't fight with your families and you fight with someone else's family. Then you're very generous, let's put it this way. So here is a bridge. And if you go a little bit further down here, you're going to go to the end of the island and you're going to get to another bridge. And we're going to go that way. But hey, let's see this, the river. All right, let's see. This is one side, obviously the other one is on the other side. Big river, big debit. You still see some stands over there from the garbage, I would say, opening ceremony of the Olympics. It was cheap, tasteless, and it was, how should I call it? Primitive. It's tapped into the lowest form of human instinct, which is sex, lust, not love. We should not confuse love with lust. So when you hear these guys, they put on certain flags, love is love, and they show the heart. No, they mean lust, because otherwise they would not talk about that particular thing, which is I identify as, or I am with this, I'm this and I'm that, the first thing. That should not care. But nevertheless, let's move on. So that was some stands here, some stands on the other side. So the Russians, I covered an article yesterday where the Russians, actually the Ukrainians, reported that the Russians dropped, or at least the Ukrainians intercepted about 8,000 UAVs, drones in 1 week, Russian UAVs in 1 week. Wow, this is from, I don't know, Giants or something? I mean, there's a door. Who the hell enters these doors? Not midgets like me. I'm a Lilliput, Gulliver. So, it's a beautiful clock on that over there. You can see it, but we're gonna go cross this because otherwise we can't cross. There's another bridge over there. I would like to go on that one, but this is the end of the aisle. No, I don't think so. Let's go on the other side. Excuse me, I don't know what the hell happened. Beautiful right there. And here is this wonderful clock. This reminds me of Switzerland, in Bern, Switzerland. Same kind of clock, but it was a tower. You can go underneath. All right, let's go here. So, and then also, if it's and is also, right? Also, the Ukrainians reported yesterday that the Pont au Change, I would say, constructed by Napoleon III, 1858-1860. So this bridge right here. All right, there is the inscription. I can't really read it, it's sunny. So this is the bridge built between those years. So the Ukrainians also reported that the Russians are in the past day, they about 3,000 attacks. The how do you call it? The Institute for the Study of War reported. I know those are not credible people, but nevertheless, they claim that the Russians are attacking on the entire front, trying to keep the offensive going, hoping to probably destroy the Ukrainian spirit. Now, if you remember, and if you don't, I will remind you, in Miyamoto Musashi's the book of Five Rings, which is Gori no Sho. That's how it's called. Miyamoto Musashi, a famous Japanese swordman, born in 1584, died in 1645. He said that once you see the enemy faltering or retreating, you go all the way on the enemy, trying to destroy his spirit rather. So I don't know if the Russians are doing that, but it seems like they're not conducting more and are not having a general mobilization or anything like that. That tells me they're going to do the same old Cour de Cassation, Cour de Cassation. All right. So they will keep doing slow and methodical attacks, advancing here, retreating there, but overall having the initiative still. Not major initiative, because you want to make sure you don't leave behind any packs of people that can hurt you in the back lines, behind your lines of offensive lines. So that's the 145 critical facilities, infrastructure, were hit by the Russians on Saturday. That's one. We have Mr. Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, who claimed again, it's my assessment. This guy is one of the only, I don't even know if I should say rational, that's the word, rational leaders in Europe. Yes, I know, in times of deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. So I think that's exactly Viktor Orban's issue. Once you say something, as for instance Hermann Göring said, Hermann Göring being the German aviation ace. Remember, he and Manfred, what was his last name? The Red Baron, Manfred, with the triplane, with the red one, with the Red Baron. What's the hell? Manfred, what? I can't remember last name. Anyway, the guy who was shot by an Australian guy. Lucky shot in the leg and up, and then he landed his plane, and he found him over there dead in the airplane in the First World War. He was buried I think three times, and you can see a video of his burial. Baron von Manfred von whatever it was. God, that bothers me. Can you tell? So he was buried like 3 times, and one I think where he was shot, I think it was over France, and the second time I can't remember if it was really over France, but that's what my memory brings back. The other time he was taken from there and he was buried again somewhere, I think in Germany, where as the front was advancing or something, and then eventually to his final destination. Doesn't have any. So this is the end of the aisle right here, the tip. This is where the river comes from, obviously, that way, flows this way. That way, if we walk a little bit more, I should be able to see Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower is between those 2 trees. Right there in between those 2 trees, but we're going to see it as we're going to walk further down this beautiful here if you want to rest. I've been walking a lot this trip, especially yesterday. I think I walked 12 miles or so. It was from my hotel room to Père Lachaise with all these and the straightest line, let's put it this way, the shortest was 5 point some miles. and I went like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bong bong. So then, you can imagine it must have been 6.5 miles, so that's about 13 miles round trip. It's a car behind you, baby doll. So, Viktor Orban says that the West irrationality, or I made a word, being irrational, helps turn I fell over there. Helps the Russians, and I think first it doesn't help anybody. I mean, overall we, humanity, loses, and it's a redistribution of as a multipolar world. That's obvious, and I think here is either these guys in the West miscalculated it, or that's an expected outcome of their planned actions. I tend to, right now I tend to be about 50-50 with this. I'm still waiting. Why? Because the system in the West works in such a way that the guys in charge of the system in the West are making a lot of money. So that tells me that the guys in charge of the system, there are some paintings I think, if I remember correctly here, when I was 1994, they're still here. I walked this road before. So they are making a lot of money, so they have no reason to even try to stop this war in Ukraine. And not only the war in Ukraine, because you see it escalated from Ukraine, escalated in the Middle East, escalated in the Far East, and things will get worse before they get better, or maybe that's going to be the end of it, the end of us. So I think Orban is right about it, but he's with the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico. They are two of the only people in Europe, leaders, let's put it this way, who are really rational and they understand what's going on. And most importantly, they have the courage to talk about it. So I'm right on the banks of the river right here. This is where I'm going right now. People are dressed nicely. A lot of nice smells around, or scents. Good scents. Scent, you know what the scent is? Yeah, all right, that's what I talk about. So that's with Orban. Putin issued a warning again. And remember, when Putin issues a warning, you take it to the bank. Why? Because these guys, I'm talking about the Russians, are consistent. I said this many, many times, and that's not because I love or I hate the Russians. This is beyond the point. The point is observation and memory, and you're going to create a retard. You're going to create a pattern of behavior, and then you're going to see that the Russians were consistent, both in good, let's say, and evil, if you want to call it. Oh, what's an antenna? Yeah, fix it. Okay, oh, Che Guevara, there you have him, for the communists, socialists, revolutionaries. All right, now my friends, this is Louvre. Pa-pa-ra-ram-pam-pam. So, let me show you. Let's make a little summary of all this. As soon as people are taking their pictures, we're gonna be next in line, like Dio's song, next in line. So that's the island. This is the tip of the island right here, where my hand is, where that little, right there, weeping willow tree. And then there's one arm of the river, this is another arm. This is where it starts. You see over there just a steeple, a little steeple over there. God damn it. The steeple of the Notre de Paris. And here we go with Louvre right here. We're gonna go in it on the other side. Obviously, we're not gonna enter it because you need tickets and you need, I think, to stay in line and so on. So I'm not gonna go in there, obviously. I don't think I can videotape anyway. So we're gonna go around it, and when we go around it, we're gonna go in its inner yard, which I remember correctly, it's gravel, some yellow gravel. And when it's over there, you can see over there, like something like that. So when you get there, and if it's wet, it's not a pleasant walk. So Putin said if the Americans are going to deploy missiles in Germany, he says that he's going to ignore the treaties, the agreements with the United States of America of medium and short-range missiles deployment, and he reserves the right to mirror that. And he said we're going to do it in such a way, we're going to deploy it in such a way that we're going to, he didn't say threaten, but target the European, what word he used? European, he didn't use vassals, he used something else. European actors or something, and obviously the Americans who are using the Europeans, and the Europeans are going to be at the receiving end. Let's videotape the Louvre. But that was another one. Hey, on this side if you want. Chonko chonko. There you go. All right. Oh, let's go through this one. All right, so we're going to go in the inner through that. Can't remember how I did it last time, but nevertheless, we're going to get in. There's another bridge. Let's go on this. It says François Mitterrand. All right. Pont des Arts. So the Bridge of Arts. Is that what it is? Yeah. This is wood. Maybe you saw it in the movies. And that's the Ion over there. Ile de Cité, I would say. And let's go into, now the Louvre started right here, and it's gonna go all the way as far as you can tell over there. It's about 500 meters, so it's about, let's say, 600 yards going that way. So let's cross this. All right. And we're gonna go through this entrance. And as we enter the Louvre, not the Louvre, the inner courtyard, we're gonna move parallel with the river, and we're gonna end up in the Plaza de Concorde. It's not Plaza, but I do it for my American friends. The square of Concorde, Place du Concorde, and that's where the good people were guillotined by the bad people, and then vice versa. When their turn, as the revolution its own sons, which in that case was Robespierre. He was guillotined after he guillotined everybody else over there. So this is the first square. Holy moly macaroni. So that's the entrance that I showed you from the other side, and look how massive this is. Now we have Corinthian columns, as far as I can tell. Right there at the entrance, and then you got them on top, the same thing, and like that. All right, which way, white man? We're gonna go over there where the flag is, because that's the whole. This is the first square, and then we're gonna go in the next one, and that's the entrance. When I said I'm not gonna pay or anything, but you just go through all 3 doors. This is made like, it's beautiful, look over there. Made like the Roman gates. Remember Roman gates had 3 entrances? If you look the arch of this and arch of that, you're gonna find 3 arches. There you go, like that. And here is where that pyramid, or pyramids, if I remember correctly, there were more than one, are located. Yeah, big one and some small ones. I personally think that's ugly over there. I always thought that. But someone said that they're not, so nobody asked me. Who cares, right? People who are familiar with this saw it probably in pictures and so on, videos, or maybe you were here. Maybe you tell me what you think about those pyramids over there, the glass pyramids. I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't appeal to me. I'm gonna climb this. Maybe I can stick my head through it. Like always, touching, and there's spikes over there. I will go on the other side so you can see it better. People don't know what's right and what's left, obviously. It should be taught by their mama in the first 7 years of life. So there's, you see the spikes over there? I'm gonna go underneath. See them? And beautiful over there on top, right there. Motifs. Right, so this is the second square, and then from here I'm going to show you is the pyramid, and there are some gardens that way that you end up in Plaza de Concorde, and then from there Champs-Élysées. 1852, 1857. Napoleon III réduit les Tuileries au Louvre. So this guy, Napoleon III, reconstructed something, and 1541, I'm reading over there. 1541, François commence le Louvre. So in 1541, François the First, I would say, commenced the Louvre, and then 1564, Catherine de Medici commenced the Tuileries, which again, he redid the Tuileries, the Napoleon III. I know somewhere over there is Richelieu, if I remember correct, and on the other side is Richelieu, a statue of that cardinal from the Three Musketeers that I used to read when I was a kid, Alexandre Dumas, many times. So this is the other square, and then we're gonna go past the pyramids, not Napoleon's pyramids, but the pyramids. Big. Now that's how an empire looks like. I said this before, and we're gonna go to this pyramid. So that's the entrance to the Louvre, if I remember correctly. You go down and you buy the tickets and you enter and so on. Look at this. What are you gonna do? Oh, okay. Let's look down. You know, you can look through this pyramid, one of them, you can look down. And this is one of them. Buying tickets over there, or yeah, that's the entrance, and what you can see or not, if it's a glare or not, because I don't see what you see. Okay. So that's where we came from. Pavilion Richelieu, Pavilion de Nantes. And here is, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but that's go in, and from there you enter the Louvre. And we're gonna have an arch over there, and a Roman arch. Right there, as I said, 3 gates. The main one for the emperor coming home with his purple or velvet purple cape, and behind him was always someone who was whispering in the emperor's ear, "You're just a man, you're just a man, you're just a man." So he doesn't think he's a god to one point, and then they deified themselves, right? Correct. I have here Mazarin. Where are you, Mazarin and Richelieu? There's a beautiful statue here. I don't know who this is. Don't remember. And oh, we have over there like the Brandenburg Tor, the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin is the same goddess on horses, horse-drawn carriage. Huh? No name here? Maybe on the other side. Oh, it's on the other side. The name, a baboon. All right, Louis the 14th. Oh, there's a statue of Louis the 14th. Made of lead, plomb de 1988. Font and plomb, fonte and lead. I don't know how you say font in English, but it's fonta is, if you use a hammer, you break it, bang, bang, bang. It's not as steel. All right, so that's the way we're gonna go. Those are some gardens, or a straight garden that goes straight into the Place du Concorde, and from there you go to Champs-Élysées. From Champs-Élysées gets you to Arc de Triomphe. From Arc de Triomphe you just go left a little bit, and then you hit the Eiffel Tower, Tour Eiffel. Oh, now yesterday it was raining, now it's hot as. Anyway, I have this, and all right. Well, there were some reports here in Paris that supposedly, and I covered this yesterday, supposedly the Iranians conducted some how do you call that? They attacked the train system, the transportation system here. I can't remember the name, how you call that in English. Sabotage. They conducted sabotage. And the information, I was laughing yesterday, unfortunately. I was in a cemetery and I laughed when I read that the Israelis told us that the Iranians planned it. And as I said, I believe that zero. But nevertheless, they're going to point it to Iran because, remember, Israel wants to forge, they want actually to have the Americans on paper, like a new NATO kind of thing in the Middle East. And they want to get them legally bonded to attacking whomever attacks them in the Middle East regardless. A very important piece of information. It's if you go to Berlin, the Brandenburg Tor, the gate of Brandenburg, has the same thing. Horses the same, and so on. So another piece of information is, if you can believe, Israel had enough. Israel had enough with Hezbollah, and they said that they crossed all. It's so funny. Funny if it wouldn't be, again, this guy is Corinthian columns. Funny if it were not sad because it's a war. So Israel got fed up because Hezbollah crossed all the red lines, because Israel did not cross any lines. Reportedly, Hezbollah launched some rockets and killed 10 Israelis, and that's in the occupied territories. They call them differently. I think that's Golan Heights. Remember, those are not legally on that side. So now they are saying that they are this close to go to war, full fledged war against Lebanon, the country of Lebanon. And that will obviously trigger a domino effect where only the courageous will intervene and the bully boy. Can you guess who the courageous are and who the bully boy is? Don't expect Arab countries to intervene. It's going to be the Persians probably that will help them. I'm not saying some Arabs will not be, upset about it, but I don't think they will move anything. Why? Because the bully boy, who is Al Capone, is going to be right over there. So here is the end of the palace. This is the last part of the wings. So it's one on this side and one on that side, and this is the end of it. And here there are some gardens with how do you call it? Fountains, water fountains, and I don't remember last time when I was here. As I said, 1994. What? 30 years. Doesn't really matter. Hot. A lot of people. Look what's over there. And you're gonna see in front of me or ahead of me. What we have over there. And you can see over there is Eiffel Tower. Here in hell. Now how do we get here and what's going on here? Because everybody stays here, and this looks like an amphitheater or something. I can see what's going on over there, but they're all stopped here and they're watching something. Then we're gonna go around it. Let's see how can we go around it. And then we're gonna go to that little, whatever that is, how you call it, balloon, air balloon, gas balloon. Now, if you like this kind of maggots, how we call them, maggots kind of thing. What? Oh my God! All right. What's going on with these guys? Oh, I think you have to. I don't know what's wrong with that. Blah 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 stuff. Stuff. I don't think we can go through that. Let me open my ear.
And it's not connected to the application.
I need a ticket or something to go into the gardens over there. So we're gonna go around them. We're gonna walk parallel if we are allowed, and if we're not allowed, well, now it's beautiful here. It's crepes. Smells good. It's about $5, €5, one crepe. Let's see if the price is right. €5, yeah. And if you add things, you're gonna be more than that, obviously. Which way? I see you have to cross back on the other side. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this one, because it makes me go not where I want to go. I want to go parallel with the river, but they want me to go over the bridge, so I'm going to do something else. Since I want to go to Champs-Élysées, I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go back, go around these gardens. I know the Plaza of Concorde is closed. Yesterday I saw it. You can go around it a little bit. And then from there you go on Champs-Élysées and go straight to the Arc de Triomphe. All right, my friends, let me put it on a more positive view, because here it's too much Schisserei, as the Germans would say. You know what Schisserei is? All right, my friends, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.